Hey everyone, welcome to today's video, which will be covering how to beat the sweaty players in Fortnite. Oftentimes I get asked the question, how do I beat the sweaty players in the game? So I thought making this video would benefit a lot of people. We'll be covering various different ways you can beat the sweaty players in the game with just a few adjustments to your playstyle. The gameplay in the background is a 16 kill solo win. Comment down below and tell me what level you are this season. I hope this video helps everyone beat sweaty players, and without saying anything more, let's jump right on into it. Sweaty players are often looked down upon, especially in public matches, because if you really do want to try as hard as possible, that's what arena mode is for. However, you can complain all you want, but no matter what you do or what you say, there will always be someone who's trying as hard as possible to get kills and get the win. Many of you guys often tell me about how you play really good for about 80% of the game, and then you run into a really good player who knows how to build and aim so good that it's nearly impossible to beat them. Your average player can compete with the sweaty tryhards, but majority of the time will not be able to kill them. We're going to be talking about how to change this. In many of my videos, I've stressed the importance of good positioning and aim over really fast and complicated building. The reason behind this is because the majority of your games will always require you to be fundamentally sound and not necessarily knowing all of those crazy builds that creative warriors know. In arena mode, the likelihood of anyone building anything really complicated and at a fast rate is very slim. Seeing as though there are so many really good players in one lobby, not many players are going to try and retake high ground or do anything clip worthy specifically, because good players know what other good players will do and will be able to block that the second they see it. So with this being said, good positioning oftentimes negates these abilities that good players tend to show. Good positioning is often associated with natural high ground or just high ground in general. But good players can play low ground just as good as they can play high ground. So if natural high ground and high ground in a build fight doesn't always mean good positioning, what does? Good positioning is the best route to a fight, the best building to be at while you're in a fight, natural high ground, and even avoiding trees while fighting someone who's really good. If you know there's a really good sweaty player near you, the first thing that you should always do is try and find the best spot that will make the fight significantly harder for your opponent to counter and attack you on. And if they're in a fight, where's the best spot that you can go to shoot your AR at them and do significant damage and potentially kill them? Good players will always try and use building to regain height, push natural high ground, or even push you with complicated ramp pushes. With good positioning and use of your weapons to take out enemy structures, it's going to be insanely difficult for these good players to get the shot they want on you. Sweaty players tend to dictate a good majority of the fights that everyone gets into with them. However, a common trait of the majority of the sweaty players is the need for high ground. Sweaty players and pro players are two different types of people. Pro players will adapt to any situation you throw at them and come out successful a good 99.9% of the time. Sweaty players have one to maybe two playstyles, with only one of them being really strong. The second you take away any sweaty player's high ground, building, or health, they go into panic mode. You'll notice that the majority of these types of players will then start to play what I consider to be a little dirty. It almost seems like sweaty players will fight you with weapons and building, but the second it doesn't go their way, you're bound to have 100 stink bombs thrown in your face, followed by 90 billion clingers and potentially 25 mounted turrets. With this being said, another dreaded tactic used by your average player who isn't really good at building or aiming, but utilizes what's been given to them, is using the clingers, stink bombs, and mounted turrets to kill these sweaty tryhards. If the tryhards are going to use those items, you should definitely use them too. Finally, we'll be talking about why my playstyle is unique and different, and why a lot of tryhards definitely have a hard time playing me. I'm pretty confident in my playstyle, and it's unique because I don't ever really do any crazy builds or any overbuilding at all. I tend to stick to fundamentals and really use my building to my advantage, and I always apply pressure to my opponents. One of the best traits of any really good player is their building, and sometimes these really good builders work so hard on their building and not enough on their gun skill. One of the only players that I've seen who can do both of these is Tfue. Tfue consistently looks for shots on his opponents and doesn't ever really need high ground to win. He lets his opponents make the bad plays and then reacts positively to every single one of his opponent's errors. If you guys hang back like I tend to do and wait for your tryhard opponent to make a very bad error, you'll be able to move in for the kill no matter what. And building doesn't do any sort of damage to you guys, guns do. If your opponent is good at building but can't hit any shots, you'll have the advantage every time. time. I really do hope this video helps you guys beat the sweaty tryhards. If it does, drop a comment down below and tell me about it. Leave a like. Use my supporter creator code YTRebus at the item shop. There's been a lot of great skins that have come out recently, so I really do hope you guys use my creator code. And let me know if you do send me a picture just showing me you guys use my creator code. That would be awesome. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.